Hey everybody. So I've had a lot of people ask me for the pumpkin roll recipe this year. So I thought I'd just put it all together and do a video and show you how to put it together and bake it. And technically this recipe belongs to Della, Andy's mom. But I call it mine because I kind of add a few things and I kind of turn the recipe around. So get a pen and paper, get your apron, and let's get started. Now you want to make sure that you get a mixer or your hand mixer in a bowl, whichever you have, and then you want to get your ingredients. Now I have everything organized and put together. So the things you're going to need is a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of baking soda, a teaspoon of baking powder. It does call for clove, a teaspoon, but I don't use clove. You need nutmeg, pumpkin pie, ground cinnamon, cinnamon and sugar, vanilla, a can of Libby's pumpkin, a pack of cream cheese, brown sugar, cup of all-purpose flour, cup of sugar, and a lot of powdered sugar. Now you notice the nutmeg, pumpkin pie spice, cinnamon, vanilla, and the cinnamon sugar are still in the containers. I don't measure those. I go by taste. So, take your ingredients. Now in your mixing bowl, you're going to add a teaspoon of salt. You're going to add a teaspoon of baking powder. You're going to add your teaspoon of baking soda. You're going to add your cup of sugar. You're going to add your cup of all-purpose flour. You're going to add your ground cinnamon. Now remember, I add cinnamon to taste, and I use a lot of it. So I just sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. It all depends on how you like cinnamon. Same thing with the nutmeg. I don't measure it. I just kind of sprinkle. So I put as much as I like. I just kind of coat the top of the flour with it. Then I take the pumpkin spice. Now, the pumpkin spice is the #1 main ingredient. Remember, pumpkin roll. So I take pumpkin spice and I cover it all over the top of the flour. I use these again when I'm doing the spread with the cream cheese. Now, take the vanilla. Don't be scared of it. So you're going to add as much vanilla as you like, because the more flavor you have, the better the pumpkin roll. And I know people are wishing that I would just go ahead and give them the measurements, but now you're going to add your 3 eggs. And then the last thing you're going to add is your Libby's 100% pure pumpkin. Now, the thing about this, it only calls for like a third of it. I use a half a can. The more pumpkin you use, the moister your pumpkin roll is going to be. I don't like a dry pumpkin roll. So, let me get a spoon. So again, you're going to put half a can of pumpkin. And why? So your pumpkin roll is moist and not dry. The more pumpkin you use, the more your pumpkin roll is going to be moist. Sometimes I use a whole can. Depends on the mood I'm in. So then when you got all that together, you're going to put your mixer down, lock it, and you're going to mix it. Now, the most important thing about mixing this is you want it mixed till it is fluffy and smooth. So first I start out slow because it's flour. Then I turn it up. Then I really go at it. And then sometimes you have to stop because even though these are expensive mixers, they still stick everything on the side. So you want to take a spoon, get your flour, sugar down in there, kind of hit the bottom, mix it up, get it all nice and mixed, lock it. And remember, you're going to mix till it is fluffy and smooth. Almost kind of like a gel or marshmallow type. But just get it mixed really, really good. This is your mixture for your pumpkin roll. Then I kind of lift it and let it come off of the mixer there. Then I let it drip. So now they got it all mixed, and we're going to go to the next step. You're going to need a small cookie sheet, wax paper. You want to have spray, oil spray, or butter, and you're going to pour it on that wax. Now I'll walk you through that. Okay, so first thing you're going to need is make sure you got a lot of counter space. Now I didn't because I had everything prepped, but you're going to need a lot of counter space that you can work with. Set your stove to 375 degrees and let it preheat. You got all your ingredients all done and added, and now you're going to pour it onto the cookie sheet. So the first thing you want to do before you prep it for baking is remember the brown sugar. So this is some of the things I'm adding. So before you pour it on your cookie sheet, put a little bit of brown sugar. Now I don't use a lot, just a little for flavor because you already got sugar, and remember you're going to use powdered sugar. So mix the brown sugar in. Get it all nice and mixed in there. Once you got all that mixed, go ahead and take that off. Put it aside. That light is bright. I got the brightest light bulb in this room. Then you're going to scrape the sides, get it all mixed and ready. So you got your cookie sheet. Mine's a little small, but it's just for me and Andy, and he's diabetic anyway, so he don't need to be eating a lot of it. So get your spray. You're going to put your wax paper on your cookie sheet, like that. You're going to spray it heavy, and I mean heavy. So you use a lot of oil. That way your pumpkin roll doesn't stick. And then this is where it's going to start getting messy. You want to mold your wax paper up against the sides of the cookie sheet. And then when you do that, you want to take the corners, put your finger in the corner, and pull the corners up because you don't want any creases. And then once you get all that done and you're ready, and I'm having trouble with this wax paper, but I'll show you how to fix that in a minute. So then you're going to go ahead and you're going to do that, get it ready. Now you're going to take your pumpkin roll mix. Remember I told you it has to look fluffy and smooth. That's the way you want it, just like that. So you're going to pour it on your cookie sheet. Just pour it all in the middle because you're going to spread it with your spoon. And then you're going to have it looking like that. And then you're just going to take it, and you're going to take your cookie sheet, and you're going to shake it till it all spreads in there. And then when you do that, take your spoon, spread it out. You want it all around the corners. Push them corners in. You want it spread into all even on the cookie sheets. Spread those corners in. Get it spread even. Then you're going to smooth it out till it's flat with your spoon. And then, my little trick. Scissors, and I trim the wax paper. I don't want it hanging over too far. Just trim it on the top of the cookie sheet sides to where you have it not hanging over. Cut the sides, trim it along the edge of the cookie sheet. Then once I have it all spread like that, I'm going to shake it again and make sure I got those corners full and it's all over there. So now you're ready. Put it in the oven. Let me get this oil off my hands. And then you're going to bring it on over to the oven. Let me turn this camera around. Hold on, people. I ain't never done this before, but. So you got your oven preheated, 375 degrees. You're going to put it on the middle rack, and you don't want it too high on the top, and you don't want it too low. So make sure you take your rack, and you move it to the middle. You're going to put your cookie sheet with the pumpkin on it. See it? All smooth. Put it in the oven. And you're going to bake it between 13 and 15 minutes. Once it's bouncy and it's all cooked, and it doesn't take long, it's ready to pull out. Okay, so while we're waiting for that to bake, we are going to do the spread for the filling inside. You're going to use 1 pack of cream cheese, and you're just going to break it up, kind of put it in there, and the mixing bowl. Wash it off my hands again. Then you're going to take vanilla. You're going to add vanilla. Remember, I don't measure. I like a lot of vanilla, so I just kind of add it in there. You're going to take pumpkin pie spice. And again, I do not measure, so I just kind of spread it in there for flavor. It is pumpkin. Then I take nutmeg. I spread it in there. Cinnamon. Spread that cinnamon in there. I add a little of the cinnamon sugar. You want to add 6 tablespoons of butter. Best butter is unsalted, but I'm just going to use regular butter. I'm going to use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then you're going to add some powdered sugar, because that's what's going to make it creamy and sweet. So you be generous, and remember, save some because you're going to need it when you spread out your pumpkin pie. So just add the powdered sugar. I'm going to use a lot of powdered sugar in this recipe. Then I mix it. Again, you want to mix it till it's smooth, like a spread. Mix it slow, then kind of pick up on it. I kind of use my hands so it don't spread everywhere. Get it mixed really good. Now, if you didn't let your cream cheese warm up in room temperature and it's still kind of cool, it's going to be a little chunky, but that's okay because when you spread it on your pumpkin roll, it's going to be hot. So let's check that pumpkin roll. Okay, looks like it might be done here in a few minutes. Again, you want to make sure it's plump and it's cooked in the middle, so it's still a little wet. So I want it to be a little dry, fluffy. So I'm going to let it cook a little bit longer. And then you want to come over and lay out your spread on how you're going to roll the pumpkin roll. So you can either use wax paper or you can use a towel, or if you have cheesecloth, that's even better. So you're going to lay that out there. Again, powdered sugar. So you're going to take your powdered sugar, you're just going to sprinkle it all over that towel. You want to use a lot. Now this is going to where your kitchen's going to get messy. So sprinkle it all over the towel where you're going to roll the pumpkin roll. And then just kind of, spread it like that. Because you want it on your pumpkin roll when you roll it. So let's wait for that pumpkin roll to get cooked a little bit more, and then we will come back and show you how to roll it. So the pumpkin roll is done. It's solid and fluffy, but not fully cooked. So it took about 15 minutes for it to get done. So this is where the fun part comes in, and the messy part. So you got your pumpkin roll done, and you have to flip it onto your towel, cheesecloth, or wax paper that's covered in powdered sugar. And you want to try and not let it slam because you're going to have powdered sugar everywhere if you do. So, wish me luck. So I just kind of lay it on the side. I do like that, and I'll flip it over. And I got it all over me. And just burn my finger in the process. Okay, hold on. So once you have it flipped, look at that cushion. Good Lord in heaven. Okay. So you're going to take the wax paper off. And I'm going to have to take a shower after this because I know my butt's covered in powdered sugar. So take it off. It's going to be really hot and steamy, as you can see. So at this point, you want to roll your pumpkin roll. So you're going to take your towel, cheesecloth, or wax paper, and you're going to fold it to the side on top. Kind of do like that. See how I'm doing that? You be very careful when you roll this because you don't want to break it. So you're going to slowly roll because it's really hot, so you're able to do it. You're going to roll it like that, halfway over. Grab it, pull your towel out, flow it over. Then you're going to do the same thing again. You're going to roll like that. Pull your towel out, really soft and gentle. And then you got your pumpkin roll. Voila. Just kind of flip it this way. Okay, so I want to use your towel again. Don't use your hands because you'll break it. Flip it on the side there where that edge was. Bring your towel off of it. Voila, you got your pumpkin roll. Mine kind of cracked on top, but that's okay because I'll cover it with my cream cheese. You're going to take your powdered sugar again. You're going to sprinkle it. You want a lot of powdered sugar on this pumpkin roll. Just remember that. Okay? So get your powdered sugar. Sprinkle that. Kind of help cover the cracks too that broke. So. Okay, you're going to let that cool. Usually maybe about 10-15 minutes. Because if it's too hot, the spread won't take it. It'll just melt off. So let it roll. And cool. And then we'll be back and show you how to put the spread on. Okay, everybody. So now you're ready to unroll your pumpkin roll. It's going to be the fun part. So you want to make sure that, again, you don't break it. So let's see how good we can do this. You're going to unroll it. And what I usually do is I try to flip it over a little bit so it don't stick. And I find the end. And then I start unrolling it a little bit. I got my mixture here. Cream cheese and stuff we did earlier. And then what I do is I don't unroll it all the way because I don't want to break it. So I start spreading as I unroll, but I am very generous of making sure that I put the filling in. So just spread it in like that. Take it, unroll it a little bit more, and then what I do is I kind of lift up a little bit like this, grab it with my thumb a little bit if I can, and I just kind of add it here a whole lot. I keep it up so I don't break it. Yeah, this is the big tricky part of a pumpkin roll. I push it in there. I get a lot of that cream up in there. But I save some and I don't use all of it because I'm going to put some over the pumpkin roll. So now that I got it in there, I'm going to re-roll the pumpkin roll very slowly so I don't break it. It's going to spread out and drip. That's okay. So what you do is you just kind of take a spoon, spread it out, put it back in the bowl because you're going to use it, remember? And then once I got my pumpkin roll done like that, I grab a plate. Sorry, I should have had it already. So I take my towel because I don't want this. I just clean all this powdered sugar up so I don't want no more anywhere else. So I take my pumpkin roll and I toss it over into my hand. And you're going to still have a lot of powdered sugar get everywhere. That's okay. Lay the pumpkin roll out on the plate. Get this out of the way. Kind of get that out of the way. Then you're going to see your pumpkin roll. So yes, you see where it's coming out here. But you're going to have the pumpkin roll there. Kind of spread out here. And then you're just going to take your cream cheese mixture. Because this is what kind of covers up all them cracks. If you're like I'm doing. Remember, I only do this once a year. This is the first one I've made since last October. So I spread the cream cheese all over the pumpkin roll. Like that. Spread it like a cake. It ain't very good if you're diabetic and eating this, but I do let Andy have it once a year. He doesn't eat a lot of it though. He's not big on sweets. And then I just kind of spread the side over here. You're going to have some that drops. Looks kind of messy right now, but I'm going to show you a trick that I do every year. So bear with me and we'll be back. Okay, everybody, now that you got your pumpkin roll done, you're going to slice it and you're going to put it together in a little case like this, and you've got your pumpkin roll. Get a cup of coffee or hot tea and enjoy. Okay, love y'all. From my kitchen to yours. Much love.